Greetings, my name is Rad, and in this video I'm going to showcase the adjustable walking speed mod. Now if that sounds like something like you've heard before, that's because you probably have. I have made the adjustable walking speed mod a couple of years ago, and this is a completely reworked version of it. It was reworked by Miss Heda, aka Mia, and I believe this is the best version possible. She contacted me some time ago asking for permission to rework the mod and asking any suggestions and ideas that I had for improving it. I happily provided her those, and now we have a working version. My original mod was a proof of concept, and I believe, as I said, that this is her full realization of the potential of that concept. I'll start off by showing the basics, telling you what's changed from the original and showing you on the fly some of the options that you have as a user. Let's start by running around, and one of the first things that you'll notice is changed is when you're running around, if you change the walking speed, which you can see in the bottom left corner here, you can see the icon for walking and the number percentage showing you the speed. You'll notice that you no longer automatically switch to walking. That's because this speed is saved independently, and it will only be applied when you enter walking mode with your keybind. For me, it's the old ArmA keybind from 2013, pressing W and S at the same time to start walking. You'll see when I walk really slowly, and I can use control and scroll wheel to change that. But I can just press W and S and continue running again, or I can sprint, no problem. Now, additionally, one of the basic things that has changed is the ability to change the running speed. So, if you're in the tactical combat run, we refer to it as tactical run or combat run, you can use control, alt and scroll wheel to change the speed of that. And as you can see, I can go really fast or I can go a bit slowly. This is the slowest tactical run is just slightly faster than the fastest walking speed. So if you increase walking speed to 170, you can see that there's a very slight difference, but they're about the same. But it does actually change the animation, so you can, as a user, you can choose which suits you better for your specific case. The tactical run is better when you need to quickly go around corners. The walking is better when you need to aim while moving. Because as you can see, if I aim, the scope is bouncing around. But if I switch to walking, even though I'm moving faster, it changes the animation, so the scope is a lot steadier. Right now, as you can see, it does not affect the running speed when you have your weapon lowered. It's an option that has been provided, and we're going to showcase that soon. Now, before I show the options, I'm going to show you the default keybinds. Configure add-ons, and there we go. These are the default keybinds for changing the walking speed and tactical speed. There's also a bunch of other keybinds that are provided to you that aren't set by default. These are optional, and you can set them if you want them. It's based on some of the feedback that I initially received a couple of years ago when I released my mod, and Mia has expanded that onto different settings. So one thing that I'm gonna show you is how I like using this version of the mod. And I like changing all my speeds with the same keybind. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna change the tactical walk speed to be control and mouse wheel up, the same as walk speed. Control mouse wheel up. This one is with the alt, so we're gonna delete that. Next, delete that. Control mouse wheel down. And there we go. Now you're gonna see CBA is saying that these are conflicting, and right now they are conflicting. Uh, this should be changing both speeds at the same time. So as you can see, changing my, I'm using control scroll wheel and it's changing my running speed, and if I switch to walking, it's also changing my walking speed. But it's not doing it properly. See, my walking speed is also limited to 130. To fix that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to options and add-on options, and now you can see the settings, the options for the mod have multiple tabs. You have the general, the walking, the tactical, and custom. General settings are for the whole mod. You can enable and disable the mod. You can enable and disable audio detection adjustments. So if you're walking slowly, the mod adjusts the sound coefficient so the AI won't hear you as much, but you can disable that if you want. Now this option only changes the speed of the animation that you're doing, and that's what I need to fix this issue that I'm having with walking and tactical using the same keybind. So if I enable that option, now you'll see that I'm walking and it's changing the walking speed properly from 30 to 170. But if I go to running, you'll see that it's good. Now I can change that normally from 70 to 130. You'll notice in the bottom left that the icon changes based on walking or running. So this is the walking icon and this is the running icon. You'll also see that the numbers can be white and red. Red numbers mean that you have reached the threshold limit of adjustment. So in this case 130 is the maximum, and if we change it down, you see 70 is red. That's because that is the minimum. It's something that you can adjust in settings as well, or you can completely disable the icons. I'll show you that later. Now let's show the other options that you have. I have mentioned that now the mod doesn't force you to walk when you change the walking speed while running. You have that as an option if you like. If you for some reason prefer the old way it was done, you can enable that. I don't like it, so I won't. Now you see all of these sliders, and that lets you adjust the threshold, so the minimum and maximum speed. Those are the numbers that appear in red. This is the step of adjustment. So when I do the control and scroll wheel, it changes the speed by 10%. For example, I can reduce that to 5, and if I save that, you'll see now when I'm walking, instead of going from 170 to 160, it goes to 165. So you can change how smoothly you want to adjust the walking speed. If you want to set it to 1%, you can, but it's going to take you a lot more scrolls. This is good for different mice that have options to... In your windows, you can actually set the amount of scrolls per wheel turn, so you can have much finer adjustments and make use of that option. I think I will keep mine on 5%. Right now you can see the walking speed is also adjusted for animations with the weapon lowered. That is a thing that wasn't in my mod, and it's something that people asked, but I never really did. But with the new way that the mod works, that is now possible without affecting different settings, or rather different animation that shouldn't be affected. You can see an animation whitelist and an animation blacklist. The tips here explain it in detail, but basically if there is an animation that is changed by this mod, or its speed is changed by this mod, you can blacklist it if you don't want it, or if there's an animation that isn't changed but you want it changed, you can whitelist it. We have the You also have the option to enable or disable changing of walking or running, so you can make it so you can only change walking if you disable tactical, but I like changing both. As you can see right here, it says include non-weapon raised animations. I'm gonna disable that here. We have the same settings as for walking, just don't be, if you're going into settings, make sure you change it the right thing. Sometimes it happens that people just scroll and they don't realize that the settings are not the same, that it's different categories. So I'm going to do that. Now I'm running normally, but if I raise my weapon, now I'm actually running slowly. So this is normal, but this is fast. That's because I disabled the speed adjustment on non-raised animations. People ask that because they wanted to be able to do parades and stuff, and I guess I'm glad Mia provided that. Now at the bottom you'll see a custom tab. This is for this is for basically server owners, or if you're playing in single player, you can whitelist animations that are not related to walking, like for example ambient animations, or I don't know, maybe the animation for healing. If you find the animation's name in the animation editor, you can add it here, and if you enable this module, you can actually use a keybind to change the speed of those animations without changing walking or tactical speed. That is more for people who like doing custom animations, or even if you use a mod that changes the animation of walking. So because this is based on animations, it's not like my mod where it's just based on the walking setting. It's actually based on the animation that is being used. You can fully customize whatever custom mod you're using for changing the animations of walking or running. This is now compatible because you have the option to whitelist animations. Alright, let's save that, and now I'm gonna go into add-on options and just show you that you have options for changing the UI icons. You can disable them or change the colors. You can enable or disable showcasing the limit colors. It's very nicely customizable. Just good to have UI customization in general. And you may notice that the icon for me is actually have to be walking, so the icon for me is in the bottom left. But if we go into options, game, and then layout, you're actually able to customize the position and the size of the animations. So as you can see, I can move it around. Now I can, by default, I believe it's here in the top right. You can also, as you can see, left mouse button to move the element, right mouse button to resize the element. If I want it really high, really big, I can have it like this. I'm gonna save that. It's gonna, because of the way the ArmA works, I believe sometimes it needs restarting, sometimes it doesn't. It's always gonna show you the thing that says to restart. Just make sure you don't oversize it and position it correctly like I did here. Layout, let me change back the size of that to what I liked. There we go. And that would be about it for this showcase. The colors are not changed through the layout. The colors are changed to the CBA settings. For any other questions, you can ask in the comments of the video, or you can ask on the Steam page. I'll have the Steam page linked in the video. Thank you for watching the video, and thank you to Miss Heda for reworking and remaking my mod into something amazing. I believe this mod will become a staple of the ArmA 3 community. My mod was popular, and this is just better than it in every way possible. Once more, thanks for watching, and goodbye.